Yeah, dear students, let us continue with the training and development in international context. It is again an important part of HR, human resource management. Mainly here, training will be focused on expatriate, training the person who got posted to another country to work in a different culture, or it may be a cross-cultural training. Uh, MNC offers cross-cultural training, that is abbreviated as CCT. It is planned intervention because uh, since MNCs always work in cross-cultural environment, it should be planned properly to build proper working environment. To increase the knowledge and skills of expatriates to live and work effectively. So they should feel comfortable in unknown country to achieve general life satisfaction in an unfamiliar host culture. So it is totally meant for life satisfaction. Life satisfaction means work-life balance, even in the organization where he works and in the outside world. Also, he is able to deal with properly with the unknown environment as well as unknown people he should be able to deal with. The effectiveness of ICCT is reflected by the cognitive, effective, and behavioral changes that occur during and after the training. How he was, how he is after the training, how he is going to behave. This is a cognitive and effective behavioral changes. Culture refers to the full range of learned human behavior patterns, practices, tradition that are characterized by a specific group of people. That is why I think religion also has its own influence on culture. Most of the influence is from religion part. Others are through practices. Natural culture versus national culture versus subculture. Let us deal with. So Hofstad's cultural dimensions, which varies between 0 to 100. This tabulation, if you see, lower power distance, high power distance, this is known as PDI. Collectivistic, individualistic, this is known as IDV. Feminine and masculine, that is known as MAS. Lower uncertainty avoidance, high uncertainty avoidance, this is known as UAI. Short term orientation and long-term orientation, LTO, this is known as. Let us deal with each one of this individually. Hofstad's cultural dimensions, it varies between 0 to 100. Power distance, what do you mean by power distance? This is the extent to which the members of society agree that power in the organizations or institutions are distributed unequally. A high PDI indicates clear hierarchy and a low PD stresses on equality. So here power distance should be reduced. Let's see what high PDI and low PDI. See the characteristics of high PDI. Centralized organizations. You see this kind of organization in military or in the police department. More complex hierarchies, right? If the boss gives the order to do, he has to do. Large gaps in compensation, authority, and respect. See the distance here between each one, even the compensation in the power as well. Acknowledge a leader status. Be aware that you may need to go to the top for answers. Morocco, Russia, Iran, Italy. This is centralized administration. Because if you see in Russia, in Morocco, Iran, Italy, and all, you will find or you find the power is centralized in the president. The president gives the command. He is the controller of each and every activity in that nation. So it is not diversified, it is not decentralized. For everything he has to take the decision. Low PDI means flatter organizations. Supervisor and employees are considered as almost equal. In this type of organizations, each employees are treated as friends. They are calling their supervisors and bosses also uh, by their names itself. In the centralized organizations, we find the words like sir, boss, like that. Delegate as much as possible. So it is decentralization. Ideally involve all those in the decision making who will be directly affected by the decision. Netherlands and Denmark has this kind of administration. So here, more freedom to talk, more freedom to express yourself, so that collectively they will take the decision. Here only one person will take the decision. Hofstede's cultural dimension, second part is individualism versus collectivism, which is known as IDV. The degree to which people in a society are integrated into groups. In individualistic societies, people prefer to act as individual rather than as group. See high IDV and low IDV. High value is placed on time and their need for the privacy and freedom. So it is mostly individualistic based. Enjoyment of challenge and expectation of individual rewards for hard work. They don't want to give in a group. They should be, they expect their individualism should be identified separately. Acknowledge individual accomplishments, encourage expression of people's own ideas. USA and UK has this kind of administration. Low IDV means it is leading to collectivism. High IDV means high, it leads to individualism. Maintaining harmony among groups members overrides other issues. So here attachment is very important. It was found in India also. If you see Hindu undivided families, their harmony among the members. So here individualism was not given importance. Collectively as a family, everyone used to maintain their harmony with each other. Suppress feelings and emotions that may endanger harmony. Avoid giving negative feedback in public. This is China, Korea, and Japan. This kind of feeling. Here, low IDV means collectivism, high IDV means individualism. So Hofstede's cultural dimension theory in the third one is masculinity versus femininity. Sorry, femininity. This is known as mass. Masculinity is the preference in the society for traditional masculine roles of achievement, heroism, assertiveness, power control, and material rewards for success. Femininity refers to put relations before wealth, respecting poor, supportive, caring, etc. See the tabulation. High mass, high masculinity versus femininity means strong egos, money and achievements are important. Be aware of possibility of differentiated gender roles. This is the important part of this step. Here must it found in Japan. Low mass, relationship oriented, more focus on quality of life, work life balance and workplace flexibility may be important. Treat men and women equally. The best example is Sweden. That means high mass means gender bias is there. So here given preferences for masculine roles of achievement, heroism, right? If you see serials and in the TV you find serials and cinemas. In cinema, the hero is highest person there. If you see that means gender biased again. In heroism, you find heroes are given importance. Heroines have less roles. If you come to serials in TV, these heroes have no roles to play. Only women will take more control of the scenes and decision making and all. So when low mass comes, it is relationship oriented and quality of life, more focus on quality of life, better work life balance and flexibility maybe, and men and women are equally treated. High mass means it is egoistic. I am for everything. That kind of mindset will be there. Hofstede's cultural dimension theory. The fourth one is uncertainty avoidance. This relates to the degree of anxiety. So high, let's see, this relates to the degree of anxiety that society members feel when in uncertain or unknown situations. High UAI means very formal business conduct with lots of rules and policies, too many restrictions. Be clear and concise about your expectation and parameters. Belgium, Greece, and Portugal have this kind of environment. Informal business attitude, it is found in low UAI, accepting of changes and risks. They are ready to accept any type of risks and changes which are implemented in the organization. Do not impose rules or structure unnecessarily. Denmark, Singapore, and Sweden, it is a kind of freedom. So low UAI means handling uncertainties, accepting them. In high UAI, as for small changes also, they are making strict rules to follow. A long-term orientation versus short-term orientation, LTO. This dimension associates how much the society values long-standing tradition. High LTO, preparation for the future, strong work ethics, high value placed on education and training. Show respect for traditions, reward loyalty and commitment. Behave in a modest way, avoid taking too much about yourself. So it goes to sacrificing something for the other. Low LTO means short term gratification, high creativity, individualism, promotion of equality, better respectful of other. USA. This is a flowchart of international training process phases in cross cultural training. So phase 1 is training objectives. um, Before training you should have the objectives, what type of training it is, and ultimately what you are expected to uh, or training outcome, expected outcome of the training. Phase 2 is identify the type of global assignments, whether it is for CEO or it is structural reproducers, troubleshooters, or operative, different levels of the organizations, right? It is meant for CEO or this reproducers or troubleshooters, or it is for the operative segment of an organization. Third phase is determining the training needs. Organizational analysis, individual analysis, and task analysis are the three major steps to determine who will undergo the training. Phase 4, establish goals and measures, short term and long term. So in the training objective only you are deciding this, whether this training gives short term change or it should be a long term change. Phase 5, develop and deliver the ICCT program. So actually you are delivering the training in this phase 5. Course content will be delivered to the participants. Methods of training, so CEOs or other who has to undergo will undergo the training sequence sessions. So see, this is a flow chart of the sequence of international training process. Likewise for training also there will be uh, uh, there will be flow chart sequence of sessions, one after the other, which session should be conducted. Phase 6, evaluating the program, short term goals and long term goals. So reviewing will be taken place even for short term and long term goals. This is the procedures of international training for cultural training. Training objective, each one is explained here. I explained that, so I will skip this part. or let's see, bridging the cultural gap between the host and the parent organization that we already discussed. There will be a gap between the country host country and the country where from he is migrated. Maximize the cultural sensitivity of relocating employee. Cultural sensitivity should be removed. Avoid misunderstanding based on cultural differences. How to communicate verbally and non-verbally with colleagues in other cultures to understand more about the host country. Learn to participate factors leading to culture shock and how to manage it for oneself and one's family. A role-based training for ensuring due to performance of jobs. Ultimately, this training is meant for removing the gap, cultural gap between the host country and the parent country. Types of global assignments. Global assignments are following: chief executive officers, subsidiary managers who oversees and direct the entire subsidiary operations. Subsidiary means it is a branch of the main organization. Structure reproducer have the responsibility of building a structure similar to the parent country to any subsidiary. Troubleshooter is an individual who is sent to a foreign subsidiary to analyze and solve a specific problem. It is short-term assignment usually. Operative job is perform operational task in an existing operational structure, generally at lower level and supervisory positions. Need analysis, training need analysis. This is need assessment, diagnose present problems and identify future challenges to be met through training and development. This analysis for whether training is needed or not. Need assessment occurs at three levels: the organizational analysis in the context of culture, politics, structure and strategy. It is in the organization level. The task analysis when it comes to real handling the work in that level, it becomes task analysis. It must identify the tasks in the subsidiary and type of cross-cultural skills required to perform the task effectively. Individual analysis, existing level cross-cultural knowledge and skills. CCT goals and measures. Short term, what the expatriate should be able to accomplish on completion of the CCT. Long term, reflect the expected outcome of the expatriate assignment. Short term as well as long term goals should be detailed and be in measurable terms. Means the changes will be measurable, identifiable. Develop and deliver the CCT program. It involves three major activities. Decide on the content of training. It is very important part. Before writing the contents for the training, the writer should know the actual thing of the host country. Methods of training. It gives you what we can effectiveness of the training. Sequencing of training sessions. That it is how the flow should be in the training. Content of training, a language training, English, the global business language, host country, language skills and adjustment, knowledge of corporate language. This is very important. English everyone speaks, but when it comes to corporate level, you should use the usage of words will be uh, recognized. Then only since it is a business language, it should not hurt who is or who are participating in that particular event. Cultural training, general cultural orientation, respectiveness to effective cross-cultural interactions, clear understanding of the purpose, value and benefits of the global assignment, the ability to manage the stress. This is the general orientation. Specific host country cultural orientation, understanding of the host country's culture and adaptation, how we are able to adjust and imbibe or absorb the that culture and you will be practicing it. Content of training. The intensity of cultural training depends on two factors: the degree of interaction required between the expatriate and the host country citizens, the similarity between the assignees native culture and the new culture. This gives you the intensity of cultural training. Tung's framework in 1981, framework which helps to decide the nature and level of rigor of training. Just have a look at this graph. Your on x-axis degree of interaction is given. On the y-axis cultural novelty is given. Here degree of interaction means whether he works within the organization or he has to interact with outside environment also. So here training focus is tasks and job related issues. Training focus is culture and related issues. Rigor of training low, rigor of training high. As you start from 0 to this side, the degree of interaction means exposure to external environment will be increasing, so that he should be having cultural awareness of that country also should be high. If he is standing here, he is not exposed to external environment, so that he need not have the cultural novelty so much. He is playing within a group or within the organization. That is why he should know only some limited cultural aspects. When it comes to this kind of or this point, it is showing that he is completely exposed to the other environment apart from internal environment of the organization. Cross cultural training, cultural benefits. Explain the major aspects of the host country culture, including customs, tradition, everyday behaviors. Area briefings. Explain the history, geography, economy, politics, and other general information about the host country and region. Portray a real life situation in the business or personal life to illustrate some aspect of living or working in the host culture. So is role playing allows the trainee to act out a situation that he or she might face in living or working in the host country. Field experiences or preliminary visits provide an opportunity for the trainee to go to the host country and another unfamiliar culture to experience living for a short time. This is job on the job, like cultural cultural assimilator provides a written set of situations that the trainee might encounter in the living or working in the host country. Training selects one from a set of responses to the situation and is given feedback as to whether it is appropriate and why. Pre-departure CCT, key people involved and in need of training, expatriate, spouse and children. This is family member of a person who is going to be migrating to the host country. Components in pre-departure training, cross-cultural training, preliminary visits, language training, security, briefings. Post arrival or in the country training facilitates learning by experiencing the host country culture, beliefs and values. It is after the arrival to that country. Training on deeper cultural training, learning about, so that gives the before departure and after the arrival to that particular country how they have to behave. Uh, Evaluating the effectiveness of the CCT. Evaluation necessitates an identification of training goals and methods so as to judge whether or not the goals have been met. Short-term goals, cognitive goals, effective goals, and behavioral goals, whether behavioral aspects have been changed or impact of the training has been identified. Cognitive means it is related to knowledge. Long-term goals. So here short-term goals is cognitive goals focus on helping the expatriate to understand the role of the cultural values and behavior in the host country, awareness of the norms required to effectively interact with host country nationals, knowledge about managing the stress. So it is related to mental effective goals to seek to manage his or her feelings towards the new culture and effectively handle the negative emotions. changing the expatriate's perception about the host culture, enhancing his or her self confidence to communicate with people from other cultures. Behavioral aspects help the adaptive behavior by the cross cultural skills, interpersonal skills. So behavioral change will be brought and observable in the short term goals, developing intercultural skills, negotiating skills, and relationship building skills. Short term goals methods to evaluate the effectiveness of the CCT. It is post training effectiveness will be, or evaluation of the effectiveness of the training will be post training. Paper and pencil tests, online tests, personal interviews, observation of performance in cultural stimulator, role plays. These are again to check them in the later stage. Long-term goals of the CCT program include the expected outcome of the expatriate assignment. It is cross-cultural adjustment and the success on the assignment. Uh, Let us look into HCN training steps in HCN training. What is HCN? HCN is host country national. HCN means host country national. A host country national is an employee of an organization who is the citizen of the country in which the foreign subsidiary is located. So here again it is for training. It is again the flowchart, objectives, types of assignments, need analysis, goals and measures, develop and deliver, assessment of e- effectiveness. Just like CCT, this also has these many steps. That is objectives of the training, what type of assignments, uh, right? Need analysis, whether it is required or not, goals and measures, what to be taught and how it should be measured, develop and deliver. This is the real part of the training, and this is assessment of effectiveness. It is the post training uh, step. HCN training objective. A few commonly understood objectives of the training in the multinational corporation are gaining information about the parent organization and its global existence and objective. It is to know about the company. The acquisition of the technological know-how specific to the organization. What type of technology is they are using? They should be familiar with that. The role of the new subsidiary in the MNC's roadmap. General awareness about the parent country norms, culture, and the work methods. These are all part of the objectives of HCN training. Host country nationals. Types of HCN assignments. It is a managing director, country head, center head. This gives the different level of the organization. Whom should we give the training? Whether it is for the chief COOs, CTOs, or CIOs, or CFOs, or HR director, HR manager, unit staff, center head, country head, managing director, whom we are targeting to. HCN training, it is a need analysis. The individual need assessment remains the same as in expatriates. The training needs analysis at the organizational or assignment levels are orientation to parent country, process and reporting mechanism, sorry, familiarity and awareness of parent company work practices, work culture, values, training for global corporate vision and mission, training for uniformity in global workforces. This is need analysis. HCN training training goals and measures, the ability to have the subsidiary similarly managed as the parent unit, short-term awareness and long-term objectives of the organization. So ultimately this training also meant for making the employee familiar with the organization inside and outside. Develop and deliver HCN training involves two activities: corporate induction and the technological training. These are very easy to understand. Develop and deliver the HCN training. Corporate induction. Here, a corporate history about the corporate founder, promoters, and investors. Industry overview, company's market share and positioning, competitors' growth, company's specific product and service background. Inducting to corporate the local leadership teams, future plans of the growth, for the growth, role of subsidiary, communicating to corporate vision and mission statement philosophy, the HR policies and subsidiaries are, it is give in the corporate induction. It is all about the overview of the corporate. It gives the history. This gives this product and services, where in which services they are into or what type of product they're manufacturing. Inducting corporate local leadership teams who are the leaders in that corporation. Future plans, planning of the future, role of subsidiaries, communicate into corporate vision and mission statement, right? Uh, the HR policies of the subsidiaries, each and everything is pertain to corporate. B is technological training, sharing of detailed information on the core business of the company, uh, knowledge to make the subsidiary to work independently. So each and every segment is independently organized, what we can call operating in unknown country. Methods of training: on the job, classroom training, on site visits, mentoring, e-learning. These are the methods of training. Before delivering, it should be designed properly. On the job means, by doing that they are learning. Classroom training is like school. They have to sit in the classroom, they have to role play, the simulation will be there, something like that. On the site visits, visiting the selected sites. Mentoring, it is personalized coaching. E-learning, now what we are undergoing, it is e-coaching. Evaluating the effectiveness, it is a post-training step, the ability of the individual to build successful subsidiary operations, establish competent teams, achieve the units objectives while adhering to global processes and policies. This is the measures of the training evaluation stage. TCN training. So TCN training, what is TCN? TCN means third country nationals. HCN means host country nationals. TCN means third country nationals. Why this word third is used here? The focus is on ascertaining the technical, cultural, and managerial fit of the person for the role. TCN means um, third country nationals. Here are the employees whose nationality is different from the from that of either the headquarters or the subsidiary offices. Previously, we have given one example, right? France subsidiary, headquarters, French manager, Romanian manager, and Hungarian manager, right? Office is in Romania, and whether should we recruit the people from French or the France or Romania or the third country, which is uh, which is no more connected with Romania or France. France is the headquarters, Romania is the subsidiary, and Hungary manager is going to be recruited as, that is why they are called third country nationals. The approach is similar to that of HCN, more or less same as HCN. Merits and demerits of CCT, cross cultural training. This increases the success in global assignments because reduces the conflicts, develops the false sense of confidence among employees. It depends upon the employee's ability to understand, provides a comprehensive global perspective for the managers, may not taken seriously by the recipients because it is a training. When they go to that country and experiences, then only they will learn, uh, instills a sense of confidence to people. Okay, I am ready to go there. May not remove cultural biases and prejudices. It is psychological.